Okay, so guys, this is fourth day class, and Lagat had some questions regarding firewall features like transparent firewall, VPN, load balancing, and all those stuff. Okay, see, right now I'll have a suggestion. See, if I start dealing with all those stuff individually, explaining all those stuff will take a huge time. Anyways, that's a part of our curriculum. Okay, as I told you earlier also. It's a part of our curriculum where all these things I'll be covering in a deep way, and I'll show you guys, each and every practicals as well. So, Lagat, see, these topics will be there step by step. I'll definitely come to transparent firewall, right? And I'll
Okay,
talk about a VPN and all. So, rather than wasting time here, explaining each topic as per your query, that would take more time. Okay. So I request
okay,
you to wait for some time. It would be fast forward as of now explaining these things. Understood?
okay,
See, others
okay.
will not be able to understand the way I'll be telling the things right now because that would be little advanced for them. So let's go
Sure.
step by step and let's see everything. And things will be there. It will fall on our way itself. So definitely we'll be covering everything. Don't worry about it. Hmm?
Sure. All
Yeah.
right.
So
Thank you.
guys,
सर
yeah.
पार्डन मी सर मेरा एक प्रॉब्लम हुआ ओका आपका सर बैच जिस टाइम में उसका मेरा एक और बैच है उसका 8:30 PM में ओका सेम डे और मंडे टू थर्सडे तो
Hmm.
सर मैं तो बहुत परेशान में हूँ क्या करूँगा सर मैं सर कुछ तो सजेशन
See,
दीजिए
these
हमको
these things you have to deal with, with you and your counselor or management itself. Like what time, what classes you want to attend, right? This would not be a right place to discuss all this stuff. Class gets hampered
ओके
regarding these things.
ओके
Okay.
ओके सॉरी सर सॉरी
Yeah.
एक्सट्रीमली सॉरी सर
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. So you decide what to attend, what not to attend, how much you can handle, how much you can't handle. It's up to you. One time you can't go through two classes, right? It's a basic sense. So please understand the seriousness of class for everyone, guys, and uh, you know be on time. Every time, you all have to be present in a class. See, every day I can't afford of being a late. See, right now it's almost it's 18 minutes already gone, right? So this way we can't run our class and we can't finish it. So please resolve your queries regarding the classes or anything you have. You have to resolve with your management, and it's between you guys. So here I'll start my training at 8 p.m. and you all have to be present on time and you have to follow the classes and do the tasks as well. Okay, so let me continue. Fundamentals of firewall we completed in a previous class, and now we are into a ASA. And before knowing a ASA, I had some basic stuff to discuss with you guys. Okay, so I told you guys in a previous class that any firewall in the world are basically of three types, right? Small, it is for a small office, and we have for medium or internet is you can say medium type of firewall, and we have enterprise level firewall. I mean big firewalls, large firewall. In ASA, there are few model numbers which are discontinued. Okay, so wherever you see a firewall with wherever you see a firewall without X series, like this is not a X series, this is not X series, this is X series. Okay, so X series firewalls are only continued now, non X series are discontinued from the market, right? Now, you have to know some firewalls with their model numbers, and how would you choose a firewall in a real time? If your boss tells you, if your manager gives you a responsibility, hey, suggest me some firewall, then what would be initial parameters based on which you would choose what is the best firewall? Now see here, there is something called throughput. You can compare it with speed, of the firewall that can give you a throughput. Like you are taking an internet speed of, right, 100 Mbps, correct. You take a internet speed of 100 Mbps and you have a router, and your router also should be supporting 100 Mbps. I'm just giving example. If your router supports 10 Mbps and you have taken internet connection of 100 Mbps, guys, tell me, will you get a throughput? Will you get a speed of 100? I mean, with a 10 Mbps of router, will you get a speed of 100 Mbps? Is that possible?
No.
Not
No,
possible.
sir.
So you have to keep all these parameters in a mind. So I'll tell you a few basic parameters. One most important part is throughput of the firewall. So you can see based on your requirement, based on the organization, you can choose which is the best firewall for you as per the speed you have to choose. Another is concurrent sessions. Before concurrent session, understand connections per second. What is connection per second? Every second, user will establish a connection and there will be connections established through firewall. Okay. So whenever any traffic is passing through the firewall, there will be connection established. So how would you calculate like how much connections you should put per user minimum? I would say if you are initiating one TCP based traffic, any TCP based traffic, if it is based on domain like www.xyz.com, then it can have 10 to 20 connections per second. Okay, it can be that much connections per second. Understood. It could be more as well. So depends how many users you have in a network, and accordingly you have to choose. So let's say I have 20 users, so 20 into, let's say if you put 50, right, equals to 5 twos are 10, right, and two zeros. You need 1,000 connections per second, right, minimum. So now this can hold up to 20 users who can establish 50 connections per second, right? 50 connections per second. So my throughput requirement would be, right, uh, it would be for 1,000 connections per second. Now here you can see in a firewall how many connections this firewall can hold, 4,000 connections per second. So let's say if I have a buffer of twice or thrice, it's better for my organization. So this type of firewalls are best suited for small type of organization, right? Where I can have 20 employees, right? But in future, if you think your number of employees might increase, you have to think about different firewall, right? So first matters what type of speed you want, what type of throughput you want. That is very important. Another is per second, how many connections can be established by a user and how many connections can be held by your firewall per second. Like how many connections can be, uh, supported by your firewall per second, right? So connections per second is very, very important, right? After that, we have connections per, concurrent sessions. Concurrent session means what? Maximum
Uh,
up to how much? Maximum
so
up to, yeah, please tell me.
yeah. So basically, when it comes to connection per second, is the number of connection that you want to establish times the number of users on the system.
Yes, let's say you are currently accessing Zoom. So while connecting through Zoom, how many connections got established in a second? Right. So first
Okay.
of all, it would be based on www.zoom.com. So it will go for, first of all, it will look for kind of TCP. It will look for First of all, DNS would be there, then TCP connection will be there, then you'll have SSL handshake, then you'll have, you know, HTTPS access. See, multiple things will happen. DNS will be resolved, then TCP connection will be established, then SSL handshake will happen. Then what will happen? HTTPS access will happen. So many things will be there behind establishing a connection. So generally you think I went for one website, Zoom, so only one connection is there. It's not like that. See how many things are happening behind, right? So like that, you have to imagine per connection, per user, right? How many connections can be there? Guys, just a minute. I have a call. Sorry. So you have to imagine how many connections can be there for per second. So if you take like 50 to 100 sessions, that would be max. Okay. Accordingly, you can multiply that number of sessions per second to a users. Right. So 100 sessions per user. So 20 users, you have 20 into 100, you can imagine. Just for a better, future, like you can plan it for future, like which firewall can be best suited for your network. So you will see connections per second, and you will multiply the number of users with connections getting connected per second. So you will calculate each user can have how many connections per second and how much your firewall can hold per second. Right. So this is one of the most important part that you have to see. After that comes concurrent sessions. Concurrent sessions would be, see, every second will be connecting. There might be a chances of getting exhausted, right? I mean, limit of holding the connections might exceed, right? So what is that limit? You can see this limit, like 10,000 sessions or 25,000 sessions up to it can hold if user keeps connecting per second. But in real time, see, when you type any website, www.facebook.com, google.com, so it's not like it keeps established, connection gets dropped in between. I mean, once your connection is done, you get a page and your connection is done. Thereafter, you are no more established. You're no more in a connection itself. So in a real time, connection will get established. It will keep disconnecting. That's how balance will happen. It won't exceed the concurrent session limit. Understood? Guys, are you understanding what is difference between connection per second and concurrent sessions? Is this clear? Are you getting my point, what I'm saying?
Could you kindly go over the concurrent session? A bit.
Concurrent sessions, okay.
Yeah.
See, concurrent session means total number of sessions that your firewall can hold. Like every second, if I keep establishing connections, there will be some limit, right? I mean, there should be some limit up to how many connections it can hold, maximum. So that is called concurrent session.
So literally, the concurrent session is about the total number of connection. And when
Connections,
it comes to connection per second, is the number of connection a user can initiate, right?
exactly. Per second,
Okay.
see, connections per second is number of users, then number of connections that user can establish per second, and concurrent
Okay, a
session
user.
is
Okay, one user, the number of connection one user can establish per second.
per second. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, see, this is not about per second, how many, yeah, this is correct. What you told is, see, I have a limit of 4,000 sessions per second. One user, do you think that one user can establish 4,000 connections per second? Not possible, right? It won't happen. So what we are telling, these are the connections per second, means we are creating a session per second, but one user won't be creating 4,000 sessions, right? So you are
Hmm.
dividing per user. Per user, how many connections can be? You'll just calculate, you'll imagine. So I imagined, like, let's say 100 connections per user, if it is there. So how many users can be adjusted with 4,000? That you can now divide and tell me, right?
That'll be 40 users.
So that's how you can imagine 40 users can be there. So this firewall would be enough for 40 users, right?
Okay.
So that's how you think, the basic formula of understanding which firewall would be best suited for my network, right? See, you
But
won't buy
but
any
sir,
firewall. Yeah.
sir, I think the type of firewall also goes with the type of network you are dealing with. If it is a new network that you are building, you can make provision because as time goes by, we will have scalability of the network, company will grow and stuff.
Exactly, multiple factors are there. Okay,
Okay.
so prospective to firewall, understand these are the major factors that you have to pay attention initially. Other
All right.
factors are secondary. These factors are primary.
All right.
So concurrent sessions, total number of connections that your firewall can hold, and connections per second means that user can establish connections per second. So that's the maximum number of connections that can be established. I hope I'm clear now. Difference between concurrent and connection per second.
Sure.
What about others? Guys, am I clear?
Yeah, yeah. For me, you are clear. Yes, sir.
Okay. Nirul, what about you? Push.
Yes, sir, I'm clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Guys, like your friend is asking question whenever he is getting doubt, I request all of you guys, whatever we are dealing today, if you have any queries regarding that, feel free to, ask question. Okay, so these were a few factors, and secondary comes with other features, guys. Now, let's say you're purchasing firewall for VPN purpose, right? So for VPN, how much throughput you guys will be getting here? See, it's not important that the maximum throughput will be the throughput of your VPN. It's not like that. I'll give you one small example. If you guys are taking 80 Mbps of internet speed, do you get same speed of download? Do you get
No.
same speed of download? No, it's divided by 8 equals to you're getting 8 Mbps, sorry, 10 Mbps of so download or upload speed. So that's how the things are calculated, guys. Okay, that's how the speeds are calculated. So understand, understand when I talk about a throughput, this is overall. Okay, but when I talk about feature wise, throughputs will differ. It will change. So if you are looking for a VPN, then you see this firewall can give you throughput of 100 Mbps. This firewall can give you of 170 Mbps. The maximum throughput is 300 Mbps. But feature wise, things will differ. So always understand whenever you guys are purchasing a firewall, you have to understand what's your requirement. For example, I'll tell you guys right now, if let's say if you need a laptop for normal work, then 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM would be enough. But if you need a laptop for networking tools, do you think 8 GB would be sufficient in today's date?
No.
It won't be. You'll need 16 GB, 32 GB, depending. So you have to understand the requirement, what type of task you are doing, what features you need, and accordingly, you have to see all these features inside your firewall, right?
So,
Yeah,
so the 300 Mbps is the maximum in all types of firewall for the throughput.
not all the types of firewall,
Okay.
depending on the model number of the firewall, right?
So it can go beyond it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm trying to show, right? This is 5500 series model number, right? 5505 model number. This
Okay.
has
150.
150. 5510 has 300.
300 Mbps.
So I told you don't focus on without X series. Only focus
Okay.
on X series. These are
Okay.
only available in the market right now. So 1
Okay.
Gbps,
1 GP,
1 2
1.2.
oh yeah, 1.2 Gbps. That's how you have to see, right?
Okay.
Cisco ASA Firewall has 5500 series. This is series. This is called series, not the model number. Now, if I ask you what's a series, then you see here one thing is common with all the firewalls. 55 is common, right? And after 55, how many digits we have? Two. So it becomes 5500, right? So what series? 5500 series. Which model number? Right. If I ask you, uh, guys, I'm asking a question, answer me. From a small size of firewall, okay, give me a model number of a firewall. From a small size, tell me few model numbers of ASA firewall. What would be that model number?
Can you go over the question, please?
I asked, give me a small office size firewall. I mean, I need a firewall for office, a small office, right? For a small office, which firewalls would be suggested? Suggest me few firewalls.
So I think when you're talking about the small office, you have to give us, let's say, a range of users.
That is fine. Now see this model number. I'm asking about model number, how to find the model number, right? These are the model numbers, guys. This is what I'm asking. If I ask you, tell me a model numbers of the firewall which are, at small office label. So what are those model numbers?
ASA 5512X.
So we have ASA 5512, right? We'll go with X series. Here you see X written, right? X series. You'll go with 5515 X series. You getting my point? These are the current valid model numbers as a small branch office for the small branch office. You're getting my point. These two model numbers are outdated because these are not X series. Guys, are you getting my point? Which model number you have to choose? Did you understand?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now again I'll ask you, tell me, tell me which are medium type of firewalls that can be used for medium organization. Tell me few model numbers of the firewall that can be used for medium organization.
ASA 5545X.
Correct. See, you should not focus on without X series. You should focus on only X series. These are few model numbers that can be used, right? And I told you what factors you have to see initially while choosing the firewall. And slowly, you guys will come to know many more things regarding the firewall. Here you can see higher enterprise level or data center level firewalls where you have firewall supporting 40 Gbps, right? So this type of model numbers are available. I believe I'm clear with model numbers. Guys, if you have to see what are the latest model numbers of ASA, then you can Google out. You can go to Cisco's website. You can see like this. Latest ASA hardware model numbers. Okay. So you can go to Cisco's website and you can check out what are the latest hardware model numbers of your ASA. Or best you can say, okay. See, right now Google has given you some answer. Like these are the few model numbers, guys. Okay, like 55X series. You see X series. They haven't given you example without X series. These are of X series firewalls, right? So if you search like this, hardware dataset, check about dataset. Dataset is the best way of searching. Like 5500 series dataset. If you see, you come here and here you can see these are the hardware model numbers, the current hardware model numbers and the previous hardware model numbers. I'll ignore all the firewalls which are not X series. I'll focus only on the X series firewalls. Understood? You see, these are the X series firewalls. And here I can see all the X series firewalls model number as per my requirement. Okay. So while choosing the firewall, this is how you have to choose. You have to understand. There are many more features, guys. Slowly you will understand. Right now, at once, it's not good of explaining all the features. Slowly, first of all, understand firewall. Then you can go through each and every specifications to understand. Okay. Now moving forward, like these were the previous one were the hardware model numbers, guys. Hardware. I told you we have a hardware-based firewalls and software-based firewalls. Okay. So we have ASAVs as well. ASAV means here ASAV stands for virtual. This is virtual. See guys, there are two things that you have to understand. When I say ASA, you'll understand this is hardware. And when I say ASAV, you'll understand this is software. Okay. So this is software-based firewall. And when I say just ASA, that would be hardware-based firewall. That's how things will be. So whenever I say ASA, I'm talking about hardware. Whenever I say ASAV, I'm talking about software-based firewall, right? In software-based, also we have some model numbers like ASAV, I mean ASAV5, ASAV10, ASAV30, and it requires 1 GB RAM. It gives you throughput of 100 Mbps, 1 Gbps, 2 Gbps. Now, see, you should not be limited with the given model numbers here, guys. I'm giving you one example. I'm giving you information that we have a hardware-based firewall, we have a software-based firewall, but you have to check out what are the latest model numbers, right? So how would you search on the internet? Like this. Cisco ASA V dataset. Like this, you have to do research and you get a link of Cisco. So if you open a new link of it, you will see here, right, dataset of a virtual firewall. So here I can see some model numbers. ASA V5 gives you 100 Mbps, ASA V10, ASA V30, ASA V50, 100, right? And it can be deployed on KVM and ESXi, right? Supported with this type of virtual operating systems, right? Not with all the operating systems, correct? So here you see throughput of all the firewalls given here. Even virtual firewall can support up to 90 Gbps, right? So as per your requirement, you can choose the firewall, right? Here you can see what are the connections per second and what are the concurrent sessions per second. I mean total concurrent sessions, not per second, total sessions that it can hold. So all these informations can be seen here. So that's how you guys can get the information from this Cisco as a updated one. Okay. Now guys, between hardware and a software, there is a difference. Okay. Between a hardware and a software, if you see, there are few differences. In a hardware, all features will support depending on model number. Okay. Let's say if I have ASA, let's say 5508 model number, right? And I have ASA 55, let's say 45X model number, right? Now, both are hardware. It does not mean that features which will be supported by 55, 45X will be supported by 5508 also. No. In a hardware also, we have a differences based on the model number. The cost of 5508, if it is, let's say, just for example, 2 lakhs, and the cost here it is 5 lakhs. So why are you paying more cost over here? Because you get more features with this hardware, you get more throughput, you get more connections per second. There are many things that you get, right? So what I'm trying to tell is, in hardwares also, based on different model numbers, feature will differ, but you have differences between hardware and software based firewall. Your hardware with the higher model numbers will support all the features. Higher model will support all features. But when it comes to software based firewall, when it comes to ASAV, there are few things that it will not support with any model number, guys. There are some unsupported features with your software based firewalls. So what are those unsupported features? Like clustering, multiple context, active-active failover, ether channel. These are unsupported features of your ASA firewall, ASA-V firewall, not ASA, ASA-V firewall. So if I compare ASA with ASA-V, then these are the features which will not be supporting. Okay. For example, what are these features? Clustering is like where you bind the multiple firewalls into a single virtual firewall. Clustering will need ether channel support. Ether channel where you bind multiple interfaces of router or switches, right? Same way, active, two firewalls active at a time for failover. This will not be supported. Multi-context. Multi-context means what? Inside a hardware, you guys will create a multiple virtual firewalls. Later you'll see, later I'll do this practical, you'll understand what is this feature, right? So this type of features are only supported with hardware firewalls, not with software-based firewalls. So keep in mind, there are few features, there are differences between hardware and software. You can't purchase software-based firewall and say, hey, all features will be supported. Won't happen like that. Guys, are you understanding what I'm saying? Difference between hardware and software-based firewalls? Is that clear?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So always understand there are limitations. It's not about, you know, you would go for cost and you would say you would expect like I'll purchase software-based firewall and I'll get all the features supported by your hardware. Won't be possible, right? So there are differences, and this is what I wanted you guys to know, right? Now let's see the other part. See, when I talk about architecture of virtual firewall, then this is how it is. First of all, you'll have a hardware. On the hardware, you'll have a hypervisor. Hypervisor is nothing but your operating system, guys. Right. So, first of all, you have a hardware. Let's say this is your hardware. And on top of the hardware, you have an hypervisor. That's your operating system like ESXi, NSX, right? Or Proxmox. These are the operating systems. On top of this operating system, you can create multiple virtual switches. So you can do a segregation in a virtual environment, right? And on top of that, you can deploy multiple firewalls. You can have multiple VM. VM is nothing but virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing but your virtual firewall, right? So see how many firewalls I can deploy. So this is the architecture of your virtual platform. In a virtual environment, if you have to purchase or if you have to deploy the firewall, then how would you deploy? What can be the condition? And benefit of virtual firewall, I have already told you guys, virtual firewalls can be deployed on a clouds as well, public clouds. Like if I talk about Amazon, Azure, or any other platforms, I can deploy it over there, right? Okay, guys, take a short break of 2 minutes. We'll start again. Short break of 2 minutes. Sorry, guys. I'm back now. So this was the architecture of the firewall. See, all of a sudden, if you say that, hey, I'll understand everything, which you haven't seen before, right? It becomes difficult like that. Okay. So slowly we'll understand everything, how to deploy virtual firewall, how to configure it, right? How all these things works. We'll see that, we'll understand. Okay. As of now, understand, like you're purchasing a firewall, any hardware, any server. On that server, you have to deploy operating system. And on top of operating system, you have to deploy multiple firewalls. That is basically architecture of your software-based firewalls. Okay. Now let's move on. Specification, this thing we already discussed, like which firewall of virtual will give you what type of throughput, connections per second, these things we already discussed. Okay. So now coming here. Now, this is one of the most important part for working professionals. Okay, let's say you're a experienced guy and you are told for upgrading your firewall, right? So, see, update and upgrades are two different things. So, features will be updated, but when I talk about upgrading operating system like firmware, update feature and upgrade operating system. Right. So here you'll see it's about upgrading path. How do I upgrade any firewall from one version to other version? So there are three factors that you should keep in mind. Whenever you guys are thinking of upgrading any firewall from one version to other version, there are three major factors that you have to keep in mind. You have to see what is current version of the firewall. You have to see what first you have to upgrade to, and then what you can upgrade to. These are the three factors. If you don't see all these three factors, if you directly upgrade firewall from one version to other version, your operating system can corrupt, right? You'll have issues with your operating systems, right? So these three factors always you should keep in mind. Like if I have 8.2 version of the firewall, then as per Cisco instructions, you can see you have to first of all upgrade it to 8.4, and then you have to upgrade it to 9.1. You can't directly jump from 8.2 to 9.1. Guys, not at all possible. This is not possible. Okay. Now here you can see if I have to go from 9.1 version to 9.1, let's say these are the patches, you can say patch 2, patch 3, right? Like that. So these things can be gone directly. You can take it directly. These versions can be taken directly. But if you ask me, like other versions, if I have a firewall with 8.6 version, can I jump to 9.1 directly? No, not possible. So in between, these are the instructions given by Cisco. And how did I get this information? It's all from the Cisco's website. So this data set can be downloaded from Cisco's website, as I had shown you guys, and you can understand. And these guidelines can be used while upgrading your firewall or while migrating your devices from one to other. So in a migration and upgradation, or in a HA or in a cluster, these things will be required, guys. Okay. So always keep in mind, these three factors are very much important whenever you guys are looking for upgrade of your firmwares of a firewall. Firmware is nothing but it's a operating system of your firewall. Guys, am I clear till this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, what's a full form of ASA? You're learning ASA firewall, right? What's a full form of ASA?
Adaptive security appliance.
Adaptive Security Appliance.
Appliance.
Correct. And what's the operating system of ASA called? What is the name of OS?
So is it
Like
the iOS?
Microsoft has an operating system called Windows. Same way, Cisco has an operating system of ASA. So what is that operating system called? It is called
iOS.
iOS OS. Okay, it's an iOS OS. Please keep in mind this small stuff.
So they all use the same operating system as routers.
Correct. It's the same operating system, and these are CLI friendly, not a GUI friendly. But we have a GUI for ASA firewall as well. I'll tell you this thing now.
Okay.
See here, I'll tell you, these are the versions of the firewall. Like I have ASA firewall, I mean
So
ASAV firewall,
so
ASAV firewall. Yeah,
so please before we proceed, can we kindly go back to the upgrade?
previous slide.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so about the upgrade, how does it happen? Is it that the vendor will notify of the new operating system, like when you're using an iPhone, when
Mhm,
there's a new operating system available, you get notification and then you can upgrade. Is
mhm.
it the same thing that happens with the vendors? Like you get notification from the vendor that there's a new operating system for you to upgrade, or is something that you have to be doing maybe every 3 years or every 2 years or yearly? Like, I don't know.
See, it happens with your next generation firewalls. Now, when I talk about, see, somewhere you have to be connected to get a notification, right? Let's say if you haven't connected your firewall for notification, then you won't get that information. But let's say if your firewall is connected with the internet for upgradations and all, isn't it? That time
Okay,
you get a notification. You will get a
okay,
notification. But let's say your firewall is not at all connected for upgradations and all. The management interface is not connected for checking the updates. So obviously it won't check, it won't give any notifications, right? So in such cases, there are few firewalls where you might not get notification for upgrading it. So what we have to do, let's say I'll come here, let's go for Google and search latest version of Cisco ASA. Right. Now it will take you to those website. Don't say latest version, say this one. Download Cisco ASA V, for example. I want to download Cisco ASA V. So it gives you a link. And what type of link would you see? See here, product support. So it shows you product information, right? So this type of link you guys will go through. It will take you to a link where you can see Cisco ASA Firewall Virtual. And here you see you have a search option. So which firewall are we looking for? We are looking for ASA Firewall. Now see, this is document. Here we have three tabs: documentation, download, community, right? So what's all these things properly? I want to go for a download, right? So here I can see a firewalls. You can go for documentations. Now here I can see ASA firewalls over here. Now see what's the current version. Current version is 9 series, guys. 9 series are the current version, and on that we have 9.20, 9.23, 9.22. These are the current versions of your firewall, right? So that's how you can download it, right? You can go for downloads. So you have ASA firewalls. So you can see ASA firewall softwares over here. 9.24 you have. So download options you guys will be getting here. So if you go to download option here, you can watch out. These are the current released versions. These are the current released versions, right? So I can see here released versions. So 9.24 version. Now here I can check out when did it release? These are the dates, release date. You can see file information. You can see release date and you can see size of the files. Okay, so from here you guys can download so your ASA firewall, right? And if you see image file, this is my bin file. Bin is an extension of your file that can be used for your firewall, right? So here you can see Cisco ASA appliance software, and here it is ASA virtual appliance. So these are two different images, guys. This one is virtual firewall image, and this one is a hardware firewall image, right? So which version you want? I want 9.24 version. So this is from this is where you have to click, right? So these are the latest versions that can be used, and it is shown here. These are the list, right? So from 9.x, what versions are available on the internet that you can download? So 9.12 is available, 9.12 is available, minimum, maximum it has 9.24. That's the latest version of your ASA firewall. So from here, if you can download, if you have a right, if you have Cisco account, and if your account has that ability, I mean, if it has that much authority to download, then you can, or else you won't be able to download it. Okay, so here let's go to verify. Okay, so depends. See, my profile does not have that authority to download it. So either you need to be a gold partner or something where you can have such type of access. So these are the way of getting the updates. You have to either visit to uh, you know to a particular website, or you can integrate your firewall with cloud services to get the notifications and all. So when your friend was talking about notification, there are some websites, there are few cloud services provided by Cisco. Like if I say Cisco CDO, you see, this is Cisco CDO, right? This is Cisco CDO account where you guys can go, not this one, this is. So this is the Cisco CDO account where you guys can integrate your firewall, and this will give you everything. It will give you a database of firewall. It will give you database of images. You can select your firewall, you can select the image, and you can upgrade. You know you can basically upgrade your firewall based on the requirement, and from here you can get notifications of your firewalls as well. So somewhere you have to be connected, right? If you're not connected, you won't get any information. For example, in a simple way, if I make you understand, uh, let's say if you don't connect your mobile phone to internet, will your mobile phone give you a notification of any updates? It won't give you. So somewhere you have to be connected to get the updates. That's what I'm saying. If your firewall is connected to cloud services, where you take a firewall access, it will give you a notification. Okay, it will give you a database of upgrading the firewall. So many things are there. Or manually, if you want, you can go to a website, you can check, download later, offline way you can upgrade, even that is possible. So these are the multiple ways that can be used to downgrade, I mean, to upgrade your firewalls with the new versions. These are the ways, and these are the informations that you have to keep in mind. Okay. Last thing I would tell, a few more points are there. Let me quickly finish it up. Guys, based on the version also, your platforms will be supported. If I have a 9.x version of ASAV virtual, it will support ESXi, Linux, it will support AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, and so on. And if I don't care about a version, if you don't have a knowledge about a version, then what can be an impact? See, why am I putting so much effort to make you guys understand all this stuff? There is a reason. See the reasons here. If you choose a old version, you see, you have less options where you can deploy the firewall, right? you have a less options. So lesser the version, lesser the options. Higher the versions, more options you have where you can deploy your firewalls. So always go for the stable and the latest version which you can deploy or wherever you want to deploy. So these were the quick informations about ASAV, guys. Okay. Any questions till here, guys? Any questions till this point? Any questions? No questions. I'll move on. So last thing today, what I want to discuss is ASDM. ASDM stands for Adaptive Security Device Manager. See, mostly what happens when I talk about iOS OS. So if any device works with iOS OS, like let's say ASA, these are mostly CLI friendly. These are configured through CLI. Okay, command line interface. But our ASA also has ASDM. ASDM is nothing but it's a graphical user interface, GUI. So I'll tell you guys how to use GUI, how to access your firewall, and how to manage your firewall through GUI. So what I'm trying to tell here is based on the version, your ASDM versions will also differ. Compatibility. Okay. You can't say that I'll take a higher version of a firewall and lower version of ASDM. No, it won't work. You have to see compatibility. What is ASDM? It's a software. It's an application. For what? To manage your firewall. For how? Through GUI, graphical user interface. Right? Not through CLI, through GUI. So these are the compatibility versions. And how do I get this information? It's from Cisco's website. Okay. See, right now, what is
So,
ASD? Yeah.
so meaning when you have your ASI firewall, you can
Mhm.
decide whether to manage it through CLI or you use the graphical user interface.
Yep. You can decide. You can do entire configuration through CLI, entire configuration through GUI.
Okay, then in the scenario whereby you want to use a graphical user interface, you need to get the adaptive security device manager.
Manager, you need to have ASDM. Exactly.
Okay.
I'll show you guys both. Okay. I'll show you how to use ASDM. I'll show you how to use CLI. Right? So these things I'll be discussing. Guys, tomorrow onwards, we're starting practical. Okay. Initial foundation that I needed to start with ASA was done. That much information is done by today's class. Okay. Tomorrow onwards, we're starting our practical, and in a practical, our first thing would be modes of firewall. These are our modes, security context mode, right? So this much tomorrow we are understanding till this level. These are the points that I'll be covering tomorrow. 3 points: modes, security context modes, and modes of firewall. Security context mode, two different things, not same. And how to configure interface. These are the 3 topics I'll be covering tomorrow, guys. Okay. Be prepared with these things. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll start practical. Okay.
सर आज का सर नोट सर सेंड की कर दीजिए प्लीज सर वो ग्रुप
Sure,
पे
sure,
और
sure. I'll upload in a
ओके
Google Drive, which I have shared, right? There only
सर
I'll
का सर रिकॉर्डिंग सर अब पाया है मैंने बात का कोई का पीडीएफ बा कोई का नोट्स नहीं है मेरा ड्राइव पे
what I'm saying is I'll upload all these documents, whatever I have used, I'll upload all these documents in a Google Drive. There you'll get it everything. Okay.
ओके थैंक यू सर थैंक यू सर
Yeah,
So,
whichever documents I have used till now, I'll upload all those documents on a Google Drive. You'll find it over there. Okay. Yeah. I'll upload and
so
I'll text in a group. Yep.
yeah, so hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me. Tell me.
Yeah, I was asking, tomorrow's session, you said you are going through some practical activities. Are we just going to be following you, or we also have access to the platform for us to be trying our hands on?
Once again, please tell me.
Yeah, I was asking, For
Mhm.
tomorrow's session, you said you'll be going through some practical activities.
Correct,
Are we
correct.
just going to be following you, or we'll have access to the environment so that we also try our hands on?
That definitely I'll give you a lab access. Okay, don't worry. I'll prepare everything. I'm managing everything. So don't worry
Mhm.
about practical part. It's up to me. And each and every guys will get the hands-on access to our practicals. Don't worry about it. It's my responsibility. Okay, don't
Sure,
worry.
sure.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you guys. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye.
All right.